This instructional video will be about the Dewey Decimal System. The Dewey Decimal System is the system we use to find books in the library. It was invented by a man named Melville Dewey. Melville Dewey lived in the 1800s. He is famous because he invented a system to arrange books so that they could be found easily in the library. Imagine that you were looking for one book. You might see a pile of books like this. It'd be really hard to find that book. It would be much easier if the books were organized. You could look it up in the catalog and find the book right away. Dewey's idea was to number books according to what they were about. He divided books into 10 main categories. Each of those categories was split into 10 categories, and so on, so that books about the same subject would be close to each other on the library shelf. The Dewey Decimal Classification System has the word decimal in it. Decimal means that it is based on the number of 10. The Dewey Decimal System groups books together by their subject. Each book is given a 3-digit number from the 000s, 000, to the 900s, 900. The first digit of the 3-digit Dewey Decimal number tells you what main group the book belongs to. Let's look at each of these categories. In the 000s, you will find general books like encyclopedias, newspapers, and magazines. The 000s also have books that don't fit into any other group. For example, you might find books about computers or UFOs. In the 100s, you'll find books about philosophy and psychology. They help people think about feelings and what it means to be human. In the 200s, you'll find books about religion and mythology. In this group, you can find spiritual and traditional stories. The 300s are about social studies. These books are about how people live and get along together. Books about government are here too. So are books about jobs, money, holidays, and the armed forces. The 400s are books about languages. In this group, you'll find books about the rules of English. Books about foreign language, such as Spanish and French, are also here. The 500s are books about math and natural science. Natural science is the study of the world around us. This includes the stars, the planets, electricity, and volcanoes. It also includes dinosaurs, rainforests, plants, and animals. In the 600s, we have applied science. Applied science is the study of how people use nature to make life easier. In the 600 groups, you'll find books about technology, cooking, health, farming, and cars. In the 700s, you'll find books about art and recreation, fun activities. In this area, you'll also find books about drawing, painting, and music, sports. In the 800s, you'll find literature. Literature includes stories, poems, and plays. Jokes and riddles are in this group too. And guess what the last group is? The 900s. The 900s are books about history and geography. If you want to read about explorers, knights, and castles, and wars, look in this group. Now let's look at one book in particular. On the spine label of this book, that's the part that you see when it's on the shelf, you'll see the Dewey Decimal number. This one is 917.2. The first number is 9. The 900s means that the book is in the geography and history section. The second number is 1. That means it's in geography and travel. The third narrows it even more to North America, and the point 2 means it's specifically about Mexico. The CUE stands for the first 3 letters of the author's last name. Now you may be saying, what about all of those fiction books? The Dewey Decimal System was created to include both fiction and nonfiction books. Fiction books were put in the 800s, but as the number of fiction books grew, libraries ran out of room for the 800s, so librarians moved the fiction books to their own section of the library. Fiction books are now arranged by the author's last name. Now, do you have to remember all of this to find a book in the library? No. You can search for the book using our online catalog. Then all you have to do is go to the shelf and find it. Now that you know how the Dewey Decimal System works, let's go find some books.